Good evening, everyone, and welcome to EduTALK. EduTALK is a weekly virtual talk show created out of the need for a global learning community. EduTALK features teachers, principals, administrators, business leaders, and dignitaries who share their expertise on critical topics facing education today with the common goal of moving education forward and our students upward. I am your host. I'm Dr. Dwayne Dice, and I am the founder and CEO of Education Solutions International. Please visit educationsolutionsinternational.org, subscribe, look at videos from, you can go over to our YouTube channel from there, which is Education Solutions International TV, and you'll have your fill of education resources. I have with us on EduTalk this week Mr. Robert Dixon, and he is the principal of Operation Restoration Christian School, and that school is in Trenchtown. And I had the privilege of visiting the school in October, just last month, October, and it was very good visit, and Mr. Dixon took care of us there during the short visit. Welcome to EduTalk, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Dice.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. It's my pleasure to feature you here because I want to highlight principals who are doing a wonderful job in certain areas in Jamaica and Trenchtown. People know Trenchtown as part of Bob Marley's history, that he used to
Yeah.
live there, and that's where he got his breakthrough for music. But Trenchtown is also where you have your school, and I want everybody to know that it's Operation Restoration Christian School. It's thriving there with students who are getting their reading on par with the reading levels and so on. And you have been leading there. Tell us a little bit about the school that you're leading.
Okay, so the school was founded in 1994 by
Mhm.
Lorna Asher Stanley. She was a returning resident
Okay.
who just felt that God was calling her to do something in Jamaica, you know. So she returned, and the intention was to start a early childhood education school, basic school in the
Mhm.
area, and they got the land that was there. Well, they I guess they squatted. There was
Mhm.
an abandoned building on
Oh.
College Smith Drive that they cleaned out. This was 1994, so nobody really went to Trenchtown. Nobody drove through, and so they really were pioneers at the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Herself and Bobby Wilmot
Mhm.
and Major Richard Cook.
Wow.
So the intention was to start a basic school, and the first day they had advertised in the community, and they registered students, and on the September the 12th, 1994, the first day, war broke out between Tivoli Gardens and Arnett Gardens. Tivoli Gardens and Remo, right?
Mhm.
A war that lasted a couple of years. And, so what happened is that a number of the children could not go to school. And so a number of children, not just of the early childhood education age, older teenagers came to the property because especially it was on the borderline between Arnett Gardens and Wilton Gardens, Remo. So that's
Mhm.
Jungle and Remo. And
Yeah.
so Miss Stanley took the teenagers aside and left Pastor Wilmot and his wife to deal with the children. And that's how the school started. She realized after a couple of months that she needed to teach some of these teenagers how to read. So she had to teach herself to read, right? And she started an after school. It started as an after school program, teaching them how to read, and then evolved into a day school where she would take students, teenagers in need of remediation, enroll them,
Mhm.
go through the process of remediation, and help them to do the grade 9 achievement test and re-enter high school at the grade 9 level. So that's how
Oh.
it started, and that is what we still do today.
Yeah, and geez, it went through turmoil at the beginning there with war between the fractions
Yes.
of Tivoli Gardens in Kingston and Remite, which is another area in Kingston
Yeah,
there.
which is where we are. It's Wilton Gardens, Trenchtown.
Yeah,
It's all this,
the
yes,
same. Is it? Oh,
same.
so it has been around for a while.
Yes.
What's the population like? You know, the average, if you want to say the average over that long period of time, what's the population like for Operation Restoration, Christian?
So the average, we usually average between around 50 students,
Mm-hmm.
right? They have gone, we've done many different things. We had a day school and an after school program running at the same time. And
Mm-hmm.
in that year, we had over 100 students. So the impact would be over 1,500 students that come through the community, that come through the school program.
Yeah.
But of course, as a community school, the reach is much wider,
Mm-hmm.
right? So with the community programs, with the summer school, I think a few years ago, 2018, we had a STEM summer school program
Mm-hmm.
under the Jamaica Social Investment Fund summer school program. And we
Yeah.
were featured. We were featured online on by GIS. We were featured. And so our impact, our reach is much greater than even the number of students that pass through the school.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. And I realized that when we visited there, the students are disciplined because you could leave them, get them to do their work, or at least, sit and talk to each other, and no, there's no animosity between them. So they're taken care of really well there in the facility. How if somebody asks you, Principal Dixon, how did you get involved with Operation Restoration Christian School?
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
question. Good
yeah.
question. My background, I did economics in school,
Mm-hmm,
right? And I started working in a bank,
mm-hmm,
spent 5 years working in the bank. But my love and passion has always been to work with young people.
mm-hmm,
That's what I did in the summers, would do summer camps, would do a lot of different activities. And I think I reached a point where I had a real ambition in the bank, real ambition. But I realized that my passion laid in working with young people. And so I made a decision to leave the bank.
mm-hmm,
That's 2007. And in 2008, I started working in Trenchtown. Never really been to Trenchtown. Never. I'm a uptown young man,
mm-hmm,
So I never been to Trenchtown. I probably passed through, but I didn't know the area. But I started working with a youth and community organization called Fusion
mm-hmm,
Jamaica. And so really immersed myself, became a leader in that organization, and we were doing real transformational work throughout the community with families, with young people. And so I really got to know the community well, know people in the community. Uh, so that was really good. And they did a lot of training as well, pastoral training,
mm-hmm,
so youth work training.
mm-hmm,
And so that's where I started to work with Lorna at the
mm-hmm.
school.
Yeah,
We would do a lunchtime program there. And
yeah.
from that program, children would come on a day trip with us and
Mm-hmm,
then come on to our after or evening program. So there was a whole model that we had running. And so I met Lorna and started to work at the school. We also did physical education at the school. And eventually, Fusion had some difficulties financially.
mm-hmm,
And so I was able to move more into helping Lorna full time,
mm-hmm,
right? So with my skills, my background in banking,
mm-hmm,
the school was not in a good position
mm-hmm.
financially at the time,
Yeah.
right? And organizationally needed some structuring. And the fact that I knew the community so well, and
Mm-hmm,
Lorna really was a community person.
mm-hmm,
She spent time, she slept in Trenchtown, in that school. So
mm-hmm,
she wanted somebody who knew the community and would keep the relationships strong. And
mm-hmm.
so I became known, everybody, people still think I'm her son, Miss
Oh,
Lana's son.
yeah.
And so, and my wife has been teaching she's been teaching for over 20 years now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she saw me as a right fit to be the administrator. And so that happened. And, yeah, so that's why I started working in Trenchtown and reaching the school. And I think my leadership style as a facilitator, a leader, transformational leader,
Yeah.
has been able to galvanize the community and the staff, and really see the school thriving. So we've done well over the last almost 9 years now.
So you left banking. Was there any reservation to leave your nice AC banking system to go into Trenchtown, to
I will tell, there was a transition, that the crisis in 2008 didn't impact what I did, because I never left with the intention to go into Trenchtown, but it kind of evolved. And it took me a while to make the decision that this is definitely where I want to go. And so when I got that confirmation in my spirit, my wife agreed. We moved, I moved ahead, and it was a great financial sacrifice, great financial
yeah,
sacrifice,
yeah, yeah.
but rewarded in many different ways. I have been told that I was told that I was wasting my time. I was told, I felt like it a lot of the times, but I think so that's 2017. That's what now, 15, 16 years,
Yeah,
15 years
15
ago.
years. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You start to, when you're there that long now, they're adults that you have impacted when they were children. You see the fruit of the labor.
Yeah, yeah.
And people know that I'm in there for the long run. It's not a, short-term thing.
So
That's
tell us a little bit about your background. Because being a principal, I wish everyone could look at the area, Trenchtown. For those of our listeners and viewers, you don't know about Trenchtown in Jamaica, in Kingston. You think of Bob Marley. You think of Bunny. Is it Bunny Whalers? The
Bonnie
Whalers.
Whaler, Peter
Yeah,
Tosh.
Peter Tosh. Yeah, those
Mhm.
old stalwarts in reggae music. All of them, they were in Trenchtown, and now Mr. Dixon here is the principal for one of the schools there in Trenchtown, doing a wonderful job. But if you don't know about Trenchtown, you really need to look it up online. It's easy to find information
Info.
about Trenchtown. So give us a little bit about your background, how you grew up and your involvement. Because it's kind of strange that we start off with the idea of you doing community service and so on, moving from bank. But there must be something else that caused that to happen for you to, develop that quality to give back to community and organizing community.
Well, I would say so. As I said, I'm a middle class Jamaican. Grew up in an upper middle class community. I think that, you know, the exposure of going to a school, I went to Calabar High School, and that was
Oh,
a good exposure for me,
yeah.
right? There was a lot there, that brought balance to my uptown life, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And just learning skills, learn how to survive, learn how to be a man there was good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think for me, what kind of brought transformation to my life was my relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
That got serious, and that has been a guiding that light for me, right? And something I take very seriously. And so, I think that coming to Trenchtown is not something that young people do,
Mm-hmm.
but when you see yourself as, you know, following the principles that Jesus set out, that living for others, putting others
Mm-hmm.
before yourselves. Those are
Yes.
the principles that kind of have guided my life. The Bible says, store up for yourselves treasures in
Heaven.
heaven. And
Mm-hmm.
so I live by those. I try to live a balanced life. I have
Yeah.
children,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to earn money. I need to send them to college. I need to save for them.
Mm-hmm.
But, but living a sacrificial life,
Yeah, yeah.
trying to find a balance of living a sacrificial life and living here,
Mm-hmm.
is something that I was very much not afraid of doing. I was
Good.
not afraid of not owning a nice big house. I was not afraid
Mm-hmm.
of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has been the main reason why I was able to give up a lot, but
Yeah.
found myself in a position of influence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thankful for the journey
Mm-hmm.
and where we are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's very good. It's very good. Do you think that the people, the students that you encounter every day, do you think they are gaining that level of community mindset as you like when you interact with them over the past number of years, 15 years or so? Have you
Well,
seen any that you can say this one come back and you can see what they're doing?
yes, we do. I have past students that work at the school,
Mm-hmm.
and that want to, give to the school and help this trying to help the school develop.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you a story. One of
yeah.
my students, who he's in grade 10,
Mm-hmm.
right? At a school in Kingston, and he, I know that I had helped him to transfer to that school because I knew people there, and he did an interview for prefect for a prefect interview.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher really was struck by, how he expressed himself, his love for the community, his passion to bring transformation to his community. This is the feedback I
Mm-hmm.
received. She actually, was nearly moved to tears
Wow.
because of, his how he expressed himself and his passion and desires, his vision for his community.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent a long time with me he spent 4 years at the school, and then during the lockdown period, during COVID, when there was no school, the school
Mm-hmm.
was online. He did online school up by us at Operation Restoration because he never
Mm-hmm.
had the facilities at his house. And
Mm-hmm.
so you able to grow even closer because I was monitoring him online,
Yeah.
teaching him how to check his email, how to check Google Classroom. And
Mm-hmm.
so he's one of those young men. We all as teachers, when you talk to a student and things pass through, go in one ears
Yeah.
and go to the
Yeah.
other,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
when it stays. And
Yes.
he was one of those young people that it stayed,
Yeah.
when you talk, and you see it in how he carries himself now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one. And there are others. So
Mm-hmm.
really the aim would be to bring transformation through, having changed the mindset of your students. The
Mm-hmm.
problem is a lot of them would leave the community when they are begin to become successful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem we're having in
Yes,
a lot of places. Once they become, then they try to go, they leave.
yes,
Yeah. You know what I noticed too when we were there is that you operate like a community, like a family in the
yes,
school. And I wanted to ask you, if in terms of mentoring and so on, if you have a mentorship program or how does it work? Are you establish community with the students so that they look at you as a mentor? Because the way they talk to you, it seems as if you're a mentor to them even more than they would take you as a principal. You know,
mm-hmm.
it's more like a family with you as the head of the family in that school. And the way they talk to you is as if they need guidance and you support them and they come back to you so you're reachable. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, how do you go about establish that with the school's community?
Well, I think it comes from my background as a youth worker, as somebody that does camping, dealing with young people in youth fellowship,
Mm-hmm.
where relationship is key, right? I came with those, with those skills, and I've learned how to do curriculum development. I've learned the curriculum. I've learned how to do, those other things,
Mm-hmm.
and so eh, and even just inheriting that from Lorna, it was
Mm-hmm.
her thing to me is that this is a family school,
Mm-hmm.
and so the passion and desire that takes, right, is something that I've always been willing to put in, to visit my students' home, to spend time talking with them. My office is not a place where they're afraid to come to it when they know they do something wrong, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a place where they want to come and talk,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where we do at least 3 trips every year, 3 out-of-town trips every year,
Oh, really?
right? So yes,
Yeah.
we celebrate their birthdays. We
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
have a real party.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a party for the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because we're in the community, we're able to build relationships with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are times when I will take kids out, we just drive around,
Yeah, that's
right?
nice. Mm-hmm.
Or they come and the exposure of just, I've told mentors that I've had that come down to the school that
Mm-hmm.
just your children learn so much just by observing.
Yes.
And so it's not, you don't have to know exactly what to say to the child. Just take them on a few errands with you. Let them
Mm-hmm.
observe how you operate, how you go to the bank, how you do these different things. And so I do that
Mm-hmm.
with some of my children, some of my
Yeah.
students,
Yeah.
right? Just for them to observe, just for them to see how you operate as a man,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
that's the
Let me
kind
ask
of,
you, yeah, the relationship you have with them is very, very strong. And we don't see that so much in our system, in our society these days, where values pass down from even not just your parents, but in community schools like yours, where values, those personal values, community values pass down from the head of the school down to the trickle down to the students, and
yes,
they emulate them. Yeah.
yes. And that comes
Yeah.
also from maintaining, having control over the numbers,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that's that's
Yeah.
that's so important
Yes.
to anything that we do, being able to
Yeah.
control how many students we're taking at a
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Because Operation Restoration Christian School is a private entity.
That's right.
So yeah, how do you support the students there?
So we we really have the diaspora
Yes.
really supports the school. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
have to do a lot of marketing and a lot of
Oh.
to tell the story of the school and to sell hope, to tell
Mm-hmm.
people in the diaspora that there is hope in Jamaica, that people are doing something. That's the story they want to hear
Mm-hmm.
and they want to see, and they want consistency in receiving updates, So a little old lady in London
Mm-hmm.
said to me, "Sir, you're the only, I support a mission in Africa and in another country. And
Mm-hmm.
you're the only organizations I support. You're the only one I hear from consistently. The only one, the others just write me when they need money."
Oh man.
So the consistent updates
Mm-hmm.
have helped telling the story of the school,
Mm-hmm.
is how we survive. And we're able to support the kids. We cannot rely on school fees, on
Yeah.
any kind of fees from the parents,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Breakfast is free at the school. Lunch is just is half the price of what it should be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
still, children come and need sponsorship. Sometimes they buy uniforms for the students,
Mm-hmm.
socks, shoes,
Mm-hmm.
because they're growing faster than the parents can afford to purchase these items.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how, and so we're growing our fundraising activities in Jamaica as well. And there are a number of individuals and
Mm-hmm.
small businesses that also support the school, and
Donate.
companies that I can turn to
Yeah. Yeah.
from time to time.
Do you have a website that people can go to?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
www.operation-restoration.org.
Oh, and then they can click on donating on there.
They can, we're working on being able to click to donate,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Is
there
there
are other
an
ways.
email
You can
that they can?
subscribe. You can subscribe to a newsletter on the website
Okay.
and receive just more information
Okay.
on
Okay.
that. And the email address is orcs94trenchtown@gmail.com. So
Repeat that. Mm-hmm.
ORCS, Operation Restoration Christian School,
Mm-hmm.
ORCS94 Trenchtown at
Mm-hmm.
gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah, that really cool. So if people want to go to the website, they know where to find. And we're gonna put some information on our website too, to direct people over there. Because you really need more support too.
Yeah,
Support can never be too much at all.
never be too much.
Yeah,
Never
in
be
this
too
day and
much.
age. So part of your life is church. Is church. You're a pastor or associate pastor.
Associate pastor at Covenant City Church. That's at
Covenant.
72 Halfway Road.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, yes. So I think, I met other people who are school leaders too. And the
Mm-hmm.
church, they're involved in church. And those
Yes.
schools, the students are very disciplined. So it tells something about what is happening between the church and the school, that some of those values are
As well.
going over
Yes.
from church to school, compared
So,
to other schools. And we're not comparing totally right now, but the observation, that's like regular
mm-hmm.
observation
Mm-hmm.
we're seeing is that there are some remnants of the values that are traditional values that are going over from church to school. Um,
Mm-hmm.
do you find that the students really love school in your area? Are they loving school that they run to school every morning?
In my area,
Yes.
or in the school.
In the school area
Yeah,
where you're
yes.
leading. Yeah.
Yes, I can say that I get nearly 100% attendance each day,
That's
right?
very good.
Right.
Yes.
So because we try to make school somewhere where they enjoy going,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's our aim of us. And then know the kids know that we have a trip coming up in
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks' time, and it's their points that will get them there. So
Oh.
their points will get them to come on the trip, and you get points for
Mm-hmm.
coming to school,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so they will come to school to get the points. So
Oh.
we'll try to make it enjoyable. We really
Yeah.
do make that effort.
Tell us a little bit about the programs that you have in there in the school.
Uh, well, so apart from, well, obviously, the academic program,
Mm-hmm.
we have a curriculum that's based on the NSC, but
Mm-hmm.
catered to our school.
Yeah.
So that's what we cater to the remediation process. So we want to remediate them, but we also want them to catch up in other areas as well. And so
Yeah.
we really start at the grade 1 level and work our way back. Once they
Mm-hmm.
learn how to read, they really catch up in the higher levels at our school. We start to prepare them for the grade 9 achievement test, which is what they're still sitting now.
Yeah.
Um, so that is there. And we also do football and netball in the
Mm-hmm.
school.
Mm-hmm.
There's the
Okay.
Jamaica Independent School Association has a competition.
Yeah.
We have a strong performing arts
Mm-hmm.
um, arm to the school, and you can look out for performances. We should be putting out. We did put on a production last year
Mm-hmm.
called King of
Mm-hmm.
Kings. Sorry,
Yeah. King of Kings.
it
Yeah.
was a fundraising performance last during the Christmas, and
Mm-hmm.
it was well received. It's
Uh,
on our YouTube page. You can
okay.
search it up,
What's a
and it's on.
YouTube? What's a YouTube?
What is a YouTube? That's a good question. Can send you the link. But if you
Okay.
search
Okay.
for Operation Restoration Christian School on YouTube, you will
Yeah.
find us,
Okay. Good.
right?
So
And a
Operation
number
Restoration.
of,
Yeah.
or if you search for my name,
Mm-hmm.
you'll find me.
Yeah. Okay.
And there are a number of search Robert Dixon Trenchtown. You'll find a number of videos of the school, testimonies,
Yeah.
and so on. And so
Okay.
we have a strong performing arts as well.
That's
So
nice.
that's it's a Trenchtown is the heart of culture in Jamaica. They say
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah.
we're trying to really bring that back and
Yeah.
strengthen the natural skill or talent of the students in our school.
And I want
Schools.
to say, yeah, separate and apart from that, if people visit the school, then they can visit the little house that Bob Marley used to live in.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
right up the road from the school. Bob Marley's little place who used to be. That's very cool. Very,
Yes,
very
yes.
cool. Um, I seriously want to thank you to be on EduTalk for this feature of your school, Principal Robert Dixon. And the school guides is Operation Restoration Christian School, and you can type in that in Google, Operation Restoration Christian School, and you can find the link to the website and also the YouTube channel. You can go over there and see. It's doing a wonderful job, and it's community school, and we're talking about impact, education impact, and working with students to lift their literacy levels and get them in regular school system, get them to start, mobilizing their own self and get them into colleges too as well. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for
Are
having
there,
me.
yeah, are there people, where's the founder now? Is she still around with us?
Yes, she is right
Oh,
now. I believe she's in Florida,
what?
so
Okay.
she's based. She her heart, her navel string in Jamaica. Her heart is in Jamaica. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
her heart Jamaica is very close to her. Her
yeah.
family is in America. So
Mhm,
that's where she
mhm.
is now. But she has a place in a home in Jamaica as
Yeah.
well.
You can probably send
And
her
so
the links to the show.
she's definitely. She's
Yeah, yeah.
80. 80, she's going to be
Oh,
81 years old this year.
wow.
But so, she started this school when she was, I think around, let's say 53 years old,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
And she was awarded the Order of Distinction um,
yeah,
in, let's see, 2017. And
yeah.
so it's never too late to pursue your passion
Yes,
and what God has
yes,
called you to do,
yes, yes, yes.
and that's her
Mhm.
story
Yeah,
tells you that.
that's
Mhm.
very good. Very, very good. Yes. Extremely. Give her our regards when you talk to her.
Will
Very,
do.
very good. Yes, yes. I'm very happy for this. It's I'm even speechless with the amount of community involvement and giving back to students. It's remarkable. When you move around in the States and see, we waste a lot of resources, and to
Hmm.
see what you're doing with very little, remarkable impact you're doing with very little. I just look at it and I said, geez, it's a pity, it's a shame to what we are doing with the resources here in the US, for the most part. Because some places are doing wonderful, but we are a nation of waste. We waste a lot of things here in the US. A lot. And this is not me bashing the US, it's a fact. It is a fact. I wish we could change as
Hmm.
quickly as
Hmm.
possible.
I've seen this, yes.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Principal Dixon, for coming on EduTalk. And everyone, please visit Operation Restoration Christian School. If you type that in Google, Operation Restoration Christian School, you will get to the website. And also, if you want to get on educationsolutionsinternational.org, we have links on there that will take you over there to their website as well. We are happy to feature. You're the second one, principal, who is doing a wonderful job in your school, in Jamaica, in Trenchtown. And again, if you want to visit, you can visit Trenchtown. For viewers, you
Definitely.
can visit Trenchtown. And remember that Bob Marley's place is right up the road from the school. So you can visit the school, check out the school, and offer some support, and then go visit Bob Marley's little house that he used to be.
Definitely.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Dixon. And
Thank you.
what good, everybody. We will see you next week with another one of this on EduTalk. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.